Annyeonghaseyo, hi guys, it's Christy. So today I'm going to be doing a video for you that's kind of a little bit different. I'm going to be talking to you about how my first week of school went. It was very interesting. Actually, I got to one class since we were only doing syllabus and stuff. The guy took row and was like, okay, you guys can go. So it was very interesting. Just never had that before. It was okay. I know a little bit how much time I'm going to have in my schedule. I'm going to be a little more free to do the fanfiction videos, some reactions and that kind of thing. I'm probably going to be pre-recording a lot of them, just so that I have enough time to edit them. The reactions are a little more easier for me to edit than the fanfiction ones. And so I know I mentioned last time that my editor, the software or my license for it expired and I had no idea. So I have to wait until I actually have some money in order for me to actually renew it. So I'm going to be doing the fanfictions the way that I used to do them before I got the editor that I use now. I got a request to do a Q&A for you guys, and so I asked if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and I would have answered them for you. Some of you did, so I'm going to be answering them. If you have any questions that are not on these particular lists that you want me to answer, leave them down in the comments and maybe I'll do another Q&A for you guys. Okay, so the first one is, how old are you? I'm in my 30s. I'm just gonna say that, okay? I'm in my 30s. I'm an oni to a lot of you guys. Been in this a little bit longer, into the K-pop game a little bit longer. Okay, what is your zodiac sign? I'm a Gemini. I was born May 30th. That's the next one. When is your birthday? May 30th is my birthday. So I'm a Gemini, and I do actually have a lot of those kind of traits. I'm very indecisive, and I can argue both sides at one point fairly equally. Who is your bias in EXO, BTS, 17, and GOT7? Okay, my bias in EXO is actually Dio. I saw EXO Next Door. I fell in love with Dio's character in EXO Next Door. He's super cute. BTS is a little more difficult for me to answer, only because as far as I'm concerned, my bias is Jungkook, but I have this group of friends who are my K-pop buddies. They have successfully bias wrecked me with RM, and so I really love RM. I think RM's brain is so sexy, and I love listening to him talk. I think he's got such a great way of seeing the world. Very mature and very educated, and I love it. 17, I don't have a bias. I don't think. Only because I didn't really get into 17 until I started doing the Hoshi fanfiction. That's when I got into 17. Right now I really like Hoshi. I'm not sure if if he's my bias or if I just like him because I did that particular fanfiction. GOT7. My bias for GOT7 is Mark. I have loved Mark since I got into GOT7. I've been so in love with this guy since I even knew about GOT7, and he flipped his way into my heart, and he's there. What is your favorite shoe brand? I don't really wear a lot of fancy shoes, so the heels that I have, I love them because they're very unique in their style, but I don't really know what brands they are. The only shoe brand that I really do use a lot is Converse and Vans. I love Converse and I love Vans. I think they're super comfortable. I do a lot of walking when I'm at school, so I have to have a cute little comfortable sneaker. Top fave clothes shops. So here where I'm from, we have two stores that I absolutely adore in the mall. We have Torrid, which is one of my favorite stores of all time. I love their style and I love the clothes that they sell there. And Forever 21. I love Forever 21. Recently their clothes has gotten super, super cute, and I love it. It's amazing. I love it. What are your favorite letters? Letters of the alphabet? My favorite letters of the alphabet are K and M and T, because my name is Christy Marie Madrigal, right? So it's KM squared, KMM. Marktan is MT, right? I should add the Y in there. Although technically that's a romanization of his name. What is your favorite food? My absolute favorite food of all time. They usually make it for my birthday. And usually it's my entire family who does it. I love hamburgers and hot dogs that are grilled outside. In the summertime, it's the best meal to have, right? It's great because here where I'm at, in May, towards the ending of May, beginning of June, it gets really, really hot. So even though I was born in May and it's technically spring, it's awesome because it's super hot in the summer, right? Although I really don't like summer. What is your favorite dessert? Ice cream or chocolate? I'm a super chocoholic. I have a really huge sweet tooth, actually. And so I love a lot of sweet stuff. A lot of people kind of get overwhelmed with the sweetness that is milk chocolate. I don't. I love it. I could eat a whole bar, whole big king size bar of milk chocolate. And I love ice cream, particularly sherbet ice cream. I love the the different flavors. The rainbow, which is strawberry, lime, and I think orange. What is your favorite number? I have 2 actually, 5 and 30. So it's my birthday. If you could dye your whole hair from the top of your head to the ends, what color would you choose other than your favorite color? My favorite color is green. Other than that color, right now I'm super obsessed with Mark's hair from 7 for 7. The red, I don't even know if you can see this. I don't think so. That red hair that he had in 7 for 7, I love it and I want to dye that color. Although, I saw the comeback pictures for Lullaby and he has purple hair and I love it. And so my friends, one of my K-pop friends is like, can we dye your hair purple? And I'm like, yeah, I'm so for it. So it would either be Mark's red hair or Mark's purple hair, one of the two. And actually I've had my hair dyed purple before because last year for Halloween I was Tonks from Harry Potter. She has purple hair. And I've had my hair dyed pink, like Jimin pink from the You Never Walk Alone era. I actually showed my stylist a picture of Jimin and was like, I want his hair. And so we dyed it pink. What is your favorite season? Mine is winter. My favorite season is winter. I live in South Texas, right? And so where I live, it's really hot most of the time. Actually, like about 90% of the time, it's really, really hot down here. But we're usually in the three digits during the summer and after the summer, and sometimes even leading into the summer. So our spring, our summer, and our fall tend to be in the 3 digits. If not in the 3 digits, definitely in the high 90s. So I love winter because for like 3 weeks in winter, which is almost a whole month in winter, we get like cool, cold, have to have a jacket kind of weather. And so I love the cold weather. It's funny because when I go to hotel rooms, like if I go out of town and I go to hotel rooms, I always drop the AC on the hotels to like the lowest temperature. And I don't care if I'm like huddled in under the blankets freezing. I love it. It's the best feeling in the world. How do you come up with all of your fan fictions? Like, what's your inspiration? It's really funny that you should ask this. People ask me all the time, like, how I come up with different stories. It just depends on what I'm seeing. Like, sometimes I'll be inspired by, like, a movie or, like, a scene in a movie. Sometimes I'm inspired by, like, songs. There's a couple that I've been inspired by songs. Like, the Yugyeom story that I'm working on, the Yugyeom fanfiction that I'm working on, is inspired by their song, My Body Reacts. I interpret it a little bit differently than most people, but that's basically what inspired me to write that story. I take a lot of my inspiration from songs and song lyrics, or like shows, for example, or other stories that I've read where I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. Like, I wish I could do a story like that. Like, for example, right now I'm working on a Mafia AU story, like a full-length story, like typed out on Wattpad kind of story. Because one of my other friends who's also into fanfictions, she's writing an Assassin AU story, right, for our little group of friends. I was like, oh my god, I have this great idea because, of your idea. So it just depends on what I'm actually reading, what I'm listening to, what I'm watching, what's around me at the time. Can you name your ultimate bias? Mark Twain from GOT7. He was not my first bias. My first bias was actually Lee Hunky from FT Island, but Mark has been a constant since 2014. Okay, so one of the other questions is, how long have you been a fan of K-pop? I've been a fan of K-pop since 2010, about 2010. But it was not like the center of my existence. It didn't become the center of my existence until I got into GOT7. And then I was like, oh my god, these guys are amazing. And so I fell in love with GOT7. And since 2014, I've been into GOT7, which is about going on 4 years now. Mark has been my constant. I have been in love with Mark since then, and I have other biases like Jungkook from BTS, Shonu from Monsta X, Youngki from FT Island, but if I have a choice between any one of the biases, Mark is my go-to. I friggin' love Mark, and he's so gorgeous and he's so amazing. He's so humble and I love him. What do you use to create your fanfiction programs? Okay, so usually what I'll do is I'll use Filmora because it's Wondershare Filmora helps me because I can add texts that scroll. Like, they have a whole bunch of different texts that I can add to the pictures that I have, right? Before I used to use Filmora, there's a website called pigmonkey.com, and I used to make each individual tile, like each individual picture, and then put it into a film editor, which at that time was iMovie, because I was using my mom's Mac computer. That was before I got Filmora. That's what I'm going to have to start doing again in order for me to start getting out some of these fanfictions. But, you know, it was really good. And the only problem that I had is I had to keep remembering what tile number I was on. But that's what I use. I highly recommend that you use Filmora and play with it. I think it's been a godsend. I freaking love Filmora. And I can't wait for it to get my subscription again. What is your favorite kind of pizza? Pepperoni and mushrooms. I'm okay with all the other toppings. Like, I like sausage and I like ham and I like chicken. Ham and pineapple is okay, but pineapple and anything else, However, pepperoni and mushrooms are like my go-to. I freaking love it. Peanut, leave them alone. Stop being a bully. What kind of animal would you say describes you best? A dog. I have the short attention span of a dog. I am not as friendly as a dog, although not all dogs are friendly. But I do feel like I've got the personality of a dog. Particularly my dog, Noodles. He's kind of a dork and kind of a derp, and I love him. And that's kind of how I remind myself of. And that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. If you have any questions that I did not answer for you, or that you want to ask and weren't one of these questions, you know, why don't you just leave them in the comments down below, and I will answer them in the next Q&A. Bye guys. See you later, my drama tears.